Ndakati unoita seusati watanga kutaura neni.
Amai.
Ndakati unoti chi?
Dr. Amai.
Kandiro zvinoitwa nemunhu ane tsika. Right. Iwewe, why usati wapedza kushainisa mupassage umu? Unomboziva kuti mabhu iyo yakabva kuItaly ufunge taenda on a delegation trip. This is memorial yababa. Hama Bonfrey hamuna kana hunhu. Baba vakakupai nyika. Kuya kwaukaita zvaukaita so kusina kantombogeza. In my presence zvaisatombobvumidzwa nguva yevarungi izvozvozvo. Baba ndo vakakupai mukana iwoyo. Ena unopolisha. Incompetence dzacho ka. Vanhu takakupai nyika. Independence zvese muda kungonetsa. Hello? Where is the eye sculpture knife idzo? This is unprofessional. 35 degrees pakudi kwacho. And hold on, take call. Hello? Neighborly. Sure, usikutomboya kumemorial ya babako. Kuklabu. Big booty chi? Hold on. Hello? Is this the champagne? That's sparkling because it must sparkle in the memory of the independence and everything that Baba did for this. Sure, bana sata. Iwe wadzoka. Wapedza. Wakamira. What is this?
Ndiche kubuti.
Iwe kai, unobva kumusha winje kupi? Kuwedza. Mamboza ndakakupa mpungeni. Indawo titonge dzungu usina kantombodya breakfast, Izvo zvati zvile panapo wazvinzwa.
Sorry, Dr. Amai.
So many years, unomboza une munhu wako ka. And you just, the memories. May we can the memories. Ndigireche. Ndisati ndagara, ndigireche izvozvo. Too much. Zora mchana. Nei baba. Shwa kana munhu wani. Kuya kumemorial kwa baba matadza. Asikana, Nairobi uvondisiya kudai. Arapikani. Chigagairwa chemoyo wangu akandisiya ndega kani maiwi. Mari yacho ndodya ndege here Nairobi wakandisiya kudai.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome to another episode of The Week with Comrade Fatso. I know a lot of you are waiting for me to say live from my kitchen, but as you can see, I'm back in studio because lockdown has eased up a little bit. It's been another mad week. The ANC delegation jetted into Harare, met Zanu PF and left again. Déjà vu? The Chinese have been farming in the Hwange National Park, and Victor Matemadanda told Ian Khama to go and find a wife. But first, a high-powered ANC delegation flew into Harare this week for another game of whose crisis is it anyway? The delegation featured ANC heavyweights like Ace Magashule and Gwede Mantashe, who were here to find out if there is a crisis or not. Okay, well, we all know that Ace is really here because he's desperate for a break from Brasiru, who's really on his back these days about all these petty corruption and tender things. The only problem is that Zanu PF says there is no crisis. Comrade, the delegation is not looking for Muno Anun's crisis. Crisis moyo. Things here. According to Sophie Mokoena, the SABC's political editor, the ANC delegation want to discuss with Zimbabwe their concerns. What Sophie and the ANC delegation don't know is that Zanu PF doesn't have a customer care department. They don't listen to concerns, and they definitely don't take kindly to feedback. Maybe that's why the ANC included their defense minister in the delegation, just in case Akaita Jambanja. Zimbabweans were waiting with bated breath to see if Zanu PF would actually let the ANC delegation meet others like the opposition, churches, civil society, activists, basically anyone who isn't Zanu PF. Well, once again, the ANC just ended up meeting with the Msangano.
And we have recommitted ourselves to ensure that we give ourselves time to listen to the views of others. But whilst we are continuing to interact as former liberation movements, and as I said, that's why we'll engage other parties or stakeholders, and we'll come back to meet with them so that we encourage interaction, we encourage, because we can't dictate to Zimbabwe what to do, but we can engage because Zimbabwe is a sovereign country, an independent country like any other country.
So ACE is now saying it's not a crisis in Zimbabwe, it's just some challenges, and that they'll be back to meet other stakeholders. Comrade ACE, how many times are you and your comrades going to do the Joburg Harare return flight to tell your Zanu PF comrades we need to start seeing other people? How many times? Thabo Mbeki gave us quiet diplomacy. Ace Magashule brings us kind of diplomacy. Dear ANC, we are still waiting for you to return for proper meetings, comrade. One thing I did love about the press conference was seeing Ace Magashule sitting next to Obet Ion Blawayo Mpofu. Because if they suspected Ace of corruption before coming to Zimbabwe, just wait until after he had a little brainstorming meeting, Nana Obet. I don't know what's happening with George Charamba these days, but something's wrong. The quality of the propaganda is just not the same anymore. I mean, you can't even tell the difference between Charamba and Matemadanda these days. I mean, over the past few weeks, George Jamwanda is not me. Charamba has spent his time insulting everyone over the last few weeks. Most recently, it was SABC's Sophie Mokoena, where instead of answering a question that she had posed, Charamba decided instead to joke about her periods. Not to be outdone, Victor, I love a good press conference, Matemadanda, took it up a notch by going after former Botswana President Ian Khama. Hanzi, find a wife and stop meddling in Zim's affairs. Yeah, good. Now Ian, you just have a girlfriend. Who are you to talk to us married men who have wives in small houses and smaller houses for those small houses? Ian, you're just a bachelor and this is big corrupt boy's business. So just shut up and eat your noodles. Did you know that this week makes it a year since Robert Mugabe passed away? You had forgotten, hadn't you? Well, don't feel bad, because even his lifelong comrades in Zanu PF also forgot. I mean, not even a tweet by @Zanu PF official, my comrades. I mean, I guess you've got your hands full with all this corruption and abduction stuff. Makes sense. I guess that's what happens to dictators. After 4 decades of ruthlessness, it all ends like that. And the only ones cheering for you are your next door neighbors like Anna Julia's.
No, now that they are here, we should tell them our main issue is about corruption. We need to put an end into corruption. You're like, because the same thing.
You know, it's just an endless cycle of violence. And we must stop this. And Inango, I find it very warming that our southern brothers and sisters have come to support us in this time of need, because it's ridiculous. Kuti, such an evolved people must constantly disobey the rule of law. If we disobey the rule of law, then what is logic?
We need to address those issues.
But you know what's nice? I believe in us. Isusu, we are the change. Isusu to just change.
Motikari yapfura vamwati vakaenda tipfeke gwema maski munosungwa pa kasindini chinondishamisa nei vachingogara vachuya vachiona munhu wandi vasingano vanhu vese ndopaya patinozotara kuti vanhu ava neava vamwe chete mukutotisira dhasti sudurukai uko pfekei mamaski munosungwa uko nganditopisa zvangu dhastin hanzi kuonekwa nani munyika ino hohodo.
After an uproar, the Hurment announced that they were cancelling all mining concessions that had been granted to Chinese companies who were mining inside Hwange National Park. This is only after rampant poaching that had been happening in the national park had been exposed. Why were people mining inside a national park to begin with? And what else has the Hurumend given to the Chinese that we'll only find out about after another scandal or expose? A big shout out to all you ordinary citizens out there who put pressure on the Hurumend through sending your emails, your WhatsApps, and making your voices heard. People power. In a COVID-19 update, the Hurumend announced an easing of regulations this week, allowing international flights to resume and Mabawa to reopen. Because Edie has decided that he can't fight COVID. Saka, at least let Zimbabweans who can afford to fly out of the country leave, and those who can't afford, well, you can drink your sorrows away at your nearest Bombi Stombi. That is our new COVID policy. In my favorite news of the week, our VP said this.
We will not export our patients. We will not make referrals to our patients. It's everybody. Ministers are only about 20. But those who have been going out, it's you, me, isn't it? All together. That export bill was too high.
Don't you just love how Chiwenga was like, you, and then he finally points at himself? Comrade, you are the main medical tourist. Don't try and deflect, Baba.
We are restructuring from the village, from the village health worker right up to the Queenary Hospital.
Village chief? Just read the script, boss.
To say if you want to have your kidneys, sorted out, go to Masvingo General Hospital. If you want to have your liver removed and replaced, go to St. Luke's in Rupani.
Your kidneys sorted out. That's some good medical jargon there from our health minister. Very reassuring. I love how he talks about a liver like it's a car battery that you can just take out and fix. Well, you heard it here first, comrades. The VP is never going outside the country again for medical treatment. Oh, thanks for joining us on the week. Follow Magama TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso. You have been the people. This has been the week. Thank you. There is no crisis in Zimbabwe. Futsek.